Audio test. Thank you for coming. Yes, 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 yes. Well, he finished the presentation last time, so right now they only ask for financing. I have no way to answer that.
say were there?
Yeah, Lizette.
Who?
FMD.
Huh?
Lizette. FMD.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Okay, we need the
Support.
the body sarcophagus.
Oh, that's excellent. If Nick shows up, go ahead, slide over.
No, Nick would. I think.
I'll sit behind you. We'll sit behind you. Yeah, that's okay. I'll sit behind you. You're going to have to get up.
Hello, how are you? Doing good, doing good.
What are you in here for?
Audio test, 1, 2, 3. Good morning to our attendees who are joining us here in the board hearing room. If there's any members of the public who wish to offer commentary on any of our agendized items or general public comment, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room, indicate which item you'd like to speak on, and hand it to me. I'll record your information for the record and call upon you when we get to that item. Good morning as well to our attendees on the Zoom platform. If there are any members of the public who wish to offer commentary, please raise your hand at this time, identify yourself for the record and which item you'd like to speak on, and I'll record your information for the record and call upon you when we reach your item. I am going to continue talking for a moment just so that we can conduct an audio test on the YouTube channel. And it is Wednesday, May 14th. And I am just filling the space. Bear with me.
I don't know. We just sat over here.
We may hear some feedback. Good morning once again to our attendees here in the board hearing room. If there's any member of the public who wishes to offer commentary, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room. Indicate which item you'd like to speak on and hand it to me. I'll record your information for the record and call upon you when we reach your item. And I do see a hand raised on the Zoom platform. Jill, good morning. Would you like to offer public comment this morning?
General public.
Thank you, Jill. Would you mind giving me a little more audio input so I can adjust?
Do you hear me now?
Yes, I'm just going to make a quick adjustment. If you wouldn't mind just saying like A, B, C, D.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
You're
Jill. I
welcome.
appreciate
Okay.
that. Thank you.
Okay.
I have you down for public comment.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Morning. Good morning. Once again, this is TJ with the Board of Public Works. If there's any additional members of the public who wish to offer public comment, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room, indicate which item you'd like to speak on, and hand it to me. I'll record your information for the record and call upon you when we reach your item. And good morning as well to our attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. I do see a hand raised. Gigi, I see that your hand is raised. Would you like to offer public comment this morning?
Just general public.
Thank you. I have you down for general public comment. I'm going to go ahead and lower your hand and put you back on mute, and I'll call upon you when we reach general public comment. It's the 14th, yes. And once again, this is TJ with the Board of Public Works, and I do see an additional hand raised on the Zoom platform. And I'm going to ask, thank you, Commissioner Mitchell, if Georgina would like to offer public comment or commentary on any of our items this morning.
General public comment, please.
Thank you. I have you down for public comment. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand. And I see Lurker. Would you like to offer public comment this morning?
Good morning. Yes, I would like to offer public comment, please, and thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and lower your hand if there's any other members of the public who wish to offer commentary on any of our agendized items. If you're here in the room joining us, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room. And if you're on Zoom, please raise your hand at this time. I'm going to go through. I do have a number of public commenters who've indicated they wish to offer commentary this morning. In the room, I have Audit LA, Henri, HHH, 3N Shrimp, and Greenspan. On the Zoom platform, I have Jill, Gigi, Georgina, and Lurker. And I see Miriam has raised your hand. Miriam, would you like to offer a public comment this morning?
Yeah, just the general public comment.
Very well. I'll add you to the list. And so I've just called out the attendees who have expressed that they would like to offer commentary this morning. If there's anyone that I've missed, please raise your hand at this time. And we should get started momentarily. Thank you. President Kang, we are now in record mode.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for Wednesday, May 14, 2025. Mr. Knight, please take roll and establish quorum.
Good morning, President Kang, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, and Commissioner Mitchell are present. We do have a quorum. This morning we are joined by City Attorney Representative Virginia Choi. I'm TJ Knight with the Board of Public Works. President Kang, we have 6 speaker cards under public comment and multiple agenda item commentary joining us here in the room. And we have 5 speaker cards on public comment that have requested on the Zoom platform. We have no single item request at this time, and we have no neighborhood council commentary.
Okay, thank you very much. So we will now start with general public comment, which is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items and will be provided up to 1 minute per person, up to a cumulative total of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment of each regular meeting. Testimony shall be limited in content to subject matter which are within the jurisdiction of the Board of Public Works. The board may not take any action on any matters discussed during the public comment period. So we will now start with in-person comment. The first individual is, please come to the podium, is Special Agent.
Council President, I am the Special Agent OT8, but the security officer told me I do not have access to an agenda, so I have to come back once they provide me an agenda. So I cannot speak right now because they are not providing me an agenda item. I asked the security officer, so I have to wait.
Thank you. We'll make sure that agendas are brought into the room. Thank you.
Okay. We'll call back. Thank you, thank you. Next, we'll have Audit LA.
Can you hear me? Okay. Good morning. I want to start off by saying in Florida, in Clearwater, the church, Scientology is asking for a street vacation, much like they're about to do here. and they had the 3 votes, but then one of the people said, you know what, no, I don't like what they're doing. We see through what they're doing, and said no. So now they're being fair gamed. They actually went after the mayor. The mayor has to, tell somebody, you better back off and leave me alone. The one lady on the board is like terrified that her children are going to be harmed. Like they are actually going hardcore after a city council. That is how disgusting and disturbing they are. And so I've been here trying to tell you how bad they are. They're not a church. They are, whatever you want to call them. They don't like being called a cult. I want to call them a mafia. They sent this guy right here, I can't identify him yet, this is the guy that's violating my rights. Okay, and I want to know who he is. This is Kendrick Moxon, their lawyer. He's an unindicted co-conspirator of the biggest infiltration
And
of
that's
the U.S.
60
government
seconds. Thank you.
in our history. Thank you.
Thank you. We now will proceed to Henry.
You don't have a mic? Okay, no, that's all right. Yes, hello. And I just want to start off by saying the reason I came to LA really is I wanted to learn from the best of the best. I really wanted to see exactly how to be the perfect criminal and then do the exact opposite. I learned exactly how the city uses bonds, does not disclose the use of those bonds, despite that is an absolute mandate when using government bonds. And I learned along the way several other manners in which the city utterly decimates government operations. From the different departments not utilizing the NextQuest portal to handle CPRA requests, meaning they force privatized messages where nobody has any access to see whether a CPRA was actually fulfilled or submitted, to outright not following through on fines and prosecuting entities. There's a guy here from a local city over in Ventura who was fined for not having Type R permits, but Scientology wasn't. Ridiculous.
Thank you. We will now move to Triple H.
Good morning. Is this for the 4 minutes or just 1 minute? 1 minute. Okay. 1 minute. Goddamn motherfuckers, don't you not understand? On June 26, 2003, the Brutal Street Service dedicated by the Department of Public Works evergreen jogging path. Why are you not repairing the ADA infrastructure around the property? I fell 2 weeks ago and not one courtesy reply about the construction of getting Title II accommodations for the budget to repair the fucking sidewalk and curb or whatever fucking tree you have to gut out and make it possible for an asshole like me, you dickheads, to safely navigate a path. So get on the fucking job, President, and do your job. God bless America. Trump!
Thank you very much. We will transition over to our next speaker, 3 in Shrimp. Calling again, 3 in Shrimp. Okay, we'll call back. Next speaker is Greenspan. No Greenspan. Special Agent, have you received your agenda yet?
I did not, but I realized this is non-agenda, so I can speak right now. I'm waiting for my agenda for the agenda item later. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the courtesy. name calling. So I am here to talk about the Bureau of Sanitation, and I'm aware of our beloved city attorney caught me numerous times telling me that I'm out of topic. But it doesn't matter how many times she cut me off, I'm still advocating a clean street, safe street. And then right now I'm concerned. Yesterday, City Council just had a ruling that they will transfer a portion of fund. I don't remember the specific number from the Bureau of Sanitation to the City Attorney's office. That is on the agenda of the City Council yesterday. Second of all, the mayor proposed a budget, a significant cut to our Bureau of Sanitation. So I am concerned, no matter how many times City Attorney cut my time, that we want clean street. We want a street without a pee, without a poo, without a urine. Clean street.
Thank you very much. I'll call 3 and Shrimp and Greenspan one more time. If not, we will transition to virtual comment. Mr. Knight?
Thank you, President Kang. And we'll start with Gigi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. You have 60 seconds for public comment.
Okay. So first, I would like to ask President Kang to please again consider reverting back to the old rules with public comment. Please allow us to actually speak as the public. Please do not try to censor our time like the previous rule change. Please go back to how it was. Also, there are permits that Scientology is trying to get that are in the near future. Please have an inspector go and make sure that they are following the rules, because they aren't following the rules. And then lastly, because I know Scientology is listening, please show us proof of life that Janet Weiland is okay. We haven't seen her, and free Janet. Thank you.
And we'll move next to Jill.
Okay, those pictures that Audit LA was walking around with or trying to show you, they are the cult cancer that is invaded and metastasized through the city government at Los Angeles. They have infiltrated you, and we need some radiation and chemotherapy, and that's what we're doing right now, because you have a mafia-like organization that's a cancer on your city. They act like the mob, like La Osa Nostra, like La Cosa Nostra. OSA is our Office of Special Affairs, and they are terrorizing people in Florida. Now, we have to end that, because we are in America. We have laws, we have the rule of law, and you have to hold them accountable. No one is above the law. No cult, no organization that is taking advantage of you, that's abusing children. That is absolutely disgusting that they are getting away with covering up child sex abuse. And Thornton and Andrews will be looking at you guys once those civil lawsuits are filed, and you'll be owing a lot of money to the victims.
Thank you. We'll move next to Georgina.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm calling in about the street closures on L. Ron Hubbard Way. These permits are being misused. The street should never be closed. It's a direct access to 2 major hospitals, Children's Hospital and Kaiser's Hospital. That street needs to be opened up to the public, needs to have parking access. I suggest you put in meter parkings. Have you Googled Maureen Bolstad yet? B-O-L-S-T-A-D. Maureen Bolstad and the thousands of victims of Scientology is why I keep calling in, and why I am motivated to beg you to not consider the street vacation that Scientology is proposing on L. Ron Hubbard Way. Maureen Bolstad's story, please Google it. It will tell you everything you need to know about why that street needs to be remained open. Thank you.
And we'll move next to Lurker. Go ahead.
Good morning. Good morning. I just am at a loss for words. Fact of the matter is, there are hours and hours of footage of the atrocities that have been committed on that street. Resources beyond belief being used to target protesters. All this happens and not 1 second of it is shown on any news cycle, which is astounding to me and perfectly obvious that it goes way higher than anybody wants to admit. You are the cornerstone of our voices. Please let us be heard. You know. Do your job. The rest will fall. Thank you. I love ya. Bye.
And lastly, we have Miriam.
Hi. I was not going to call in today because I found out yesterday my mother has limited time left on this earth because of her cancer diagnosis. But I thought that I would try and change this into something positive and talk once again about the street vacation on L. Ron Hubbard Way, where elderly people who have signed billion-year contract are not getting enough treatment. Even if they are ill with cancer, they're not getting proper treatment and they are being worked around the clock also on their events that they are holding over there. So I please ask you to reconsider the street vacation because there are family members missing their elderly parents and we don't know what kind of physical health they are in, and this will disconnect the last lifeline they have to be asking for help and get out of there. Thank you.
And that concludes public comment this morning. President Kang.
Thank you very much. With that, we will close general public comment portion of today's meeting and move on to multiple agenda item public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for members of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during multiple agenda item comment period for up to 1 minute per item, up to a total of 3 minutes per meeting. This is the only time to speak on more than one agenda item, and please identify the items you will speak on when you are called. So we will start with in-person multiple agenda item comment, starting with Audit LA.
Thank you. Sorry. I want to speak on everything, basically. I know this kind of has to stay on topic, and I'll do my best. City Attorney, Ms. Choi. Let's start with the lighting. Lighting's very important. It's really dark, in the valley. It's really hard to navigate. I'm sure it's everywhere in the city. So I'm really happy to see that you guys are tackling that. And I do feel like, in all fairness, that this board, like this current commission, that you guys really are trying to tackle everything. Like, you guys give me the most hope that things are going to get better, even with the things that we're coming with, because I've seen minor changes here and there. And so I do believe you're all good-willed and here to make everything better. So with the lighting, I do. I'm a believer in people. Okay, but when it comes to, like, I see, I don't know the numbers, so forgive me, but, like, again, with the contracts for giving contracts to different businesses, I just want to bring up the reminder that there is still slavery in not, like, it's a new form of labor slavery, labor trafficking, where people are trafficked at very, inhumane wages, but somebody's making a lot of money off of that. And it needs to be taken seriously with every contract. That should be on the contract because we need it to be in our forefront that this is going on. That now even with one of the, I can't think of it, sorry, I'm like really tired today, but they're starting to ask this question even when you're calling in or joining up with Angelinos, whatever that site is, that whether or not that you're gonna, if you have slave wages or anything like that. So it's really important because it is going on with Scientology and other places. And as far as like these ones that come in and say, okay, we want this, this is the low bid, they come back often and ask for more money. So I'm just asking you, and I've seen sometimes, I know Mr. Grant has asked some questions and other people have asked questions, but I wish there would be more of that, more scrutiny. Because almost, to be honest, it feels like that this is already like, okay, here's the agenda. We all know it's a yes. This is what we need to do. But there isn't any real scrutiny, like, especially with the people who are coming in with the low bid. Well, like, how did he get to that low bid? Are you sure? Are you going to be coming back for more money? Because we're in $1 billion deficit right now. You know what I mean? And so we're looking to you not only to build our city and get all the stuff done that needs to be done, but to make sure it's done on the best, you know, that you really take the people's money into account and that it's done correctly, because there is a lot of corruption out there, even with, I'm sure, bids. You know, there's a lot of shenanigans that's been going on for years, and everyone's taken a blind eye. I'm challenging you guys to not be the ones that turn a blind eye, that you actually ask. Thank you. And then here's a picture of Janet where we just went.
Thank you very much. Next speaker is Henry.
You can hang out. I don't mind. They'll probably pick up that are on your phone. All right. So multiple agenda items here. I'll start off with one and I'll work you through the rest. We're talking about annual assessments, and here's the issue I have. There is no stated formula, and in fact, interestingly enough, even on 6, there is yet again a magical account that's being provisioned for emergency services of debris removal, yet no mention of where this money is going from and coming to. The other issue is when we talk about district assessments, what is the magic formula that gives some cities and areas better access to funding, whereas others have to wait a minimum of 10 years to get a simple street light fixed? What is that secret formula? I would die to freaking know why it is that why certain neighborhoods, whatever the discrimination and bias is, do not get access and the same privilege that others do for basic infrastructural repairs that the city is by mandate required to do. Why it is that by and large this board has the highest liability payouts compared to the LA freaking PD. Are you kidding me? Because people are chopping up their legs because they're walking on utterly decimated public infrastructure. And yet the LAPD, which literally kills people ad nauseum, has lower liability payouts than this board. This motion, just like number 2, is where all those liability payouts come from. The unequal distribution and the unequal and improper discriminatory assessment of districts and some magical secret formula that goes into which areas get more money and why it is. Because we know the city is run by developers. I mean, for Christ's sakes, Mitchell Englander, a disgraced council member, literally pled guilty to taking bribes from developers on motions exactly like this to utterly decimate not only public infrastructure, but take a bunch of sweetheart deals for developers to utterly destroy residential units and convert them into commercial real estate retail units that kicked all those people out. They're all homeless now, but they used what? The best money of all. They used the public tax dollar to do it. And he got what? Maybe 3 months in his home for house arrest? That's it. That's the punishment we have for impeding a federal investigation. Impeding a federal investigation, committing fraud on the record, and that's what he gets, a slap on the wrist. These very same motions, these secretive budgets, an emergency debris removal project to the tune of $1.4 million. We were talking about bonds just yesterday. We were talking about the importance of stating where that money is coming from and whether it was agreed to come from and be used for a set purpose. What is this money in a special account coming from and to?
Thank you very much. Next speaker is Triple H.
Oh yeah, look at here. June 26, 2003, the Bureau of Street Services, Department of Public Works lighting situation here. Where this money is coming from, whether it's bonds or grants to establish a lighting districts or repair lightings, I find it offensive. When you have an ADA infrastructure or ripping off property tax billings on the public. Some of you people here are stupid because you pay taxes to pay for these these morons, and like Miss Chavez there, not to pay a goddamn time of attention to what's going on in this city and fix our motherfucking infrastructure on lighting. Let's get direct and to the point. So like I said, in 2003, Public Works, Park and Recs, which motherfucker is taking care of the sidewalk and streets and lighting around the jogging path on Evergreen and Boyle Heights and CD 14? Because all these items here say CD all. So I'm making reference to this fucked up budget and a fucked up crisis in a fucked up reality world like Los Angeles, in which a fucked up crisis and fucked up people are stealing the fucked up copper and taking away our lights. So we have problems here. Just like the DWP city attorney that ripped us off during his time of tenure, and he got slapped in the ass by the federal judge and removed his bar license. Like any asshole bar city attorney should have their bar license removed and revoked for the rest of your life and do the permanent time of criminal enterprise in a maximum jail. So yes, I sound angry, but I'm not. I'm exercising where the budget and construction orders are going. Where's the fucking money going? Do you have an answer, Mr. Kang? Because when you had that other sand devil, fucking idiot that no longer sits in that empty chair, things weren't being done right because that fucking mayor, as it says on the back of my shirt here, fuck the mayor, I'm politically right. So, once again, criminal organizations depleting the constructional budget for lights at $1.4 million, destroying our lighting infrastructure, no compliance whatsoever. Wait till DOGE, D-O-G-E, of the American Rights to Defend America under MAGA finds out about this shit. I hope you don't own property, I hope you're not a developer, and I hope you don't have a fucking business in this city destroying our infrastructure under lighting. It's a shame we got a goddamn black mayor, first black mayor bitch who hasn't done shit right. Get it right. 42 U.S.C. 1983, politely and politically on the record. Fuck you.
All right, we'll move to Mr. Special Agent.
Hello, good morning. Thank you. So I'll start with item number 1. It's about the street lighting maintenance. I touched on this topic before. I want to re-emphasize my point earlier because hopefully nobody was paid attention at that meeting. The reason why lighting is important is, number 1, is to provide a safety. Thinking about it, my mom, my grandmother, finish work, walk by herself. Remember, we have 2 scenarios. One scenario, very, very dark. Remember, when it's dark, nobody can see anything. There's a million opportunity for criminals to kill, to rape, to do whatever they want. Now, think about a different scenario. If we have a street with a lot of lighting, with a lot of cameras, remember that no criminal will commit crime when you have a good lighting condition. I really wish every commissioner can understand the importance of lighting. Now, let's move on to the next one, item number 4. Item number 4 is about right here, I said heat relief for LA during the summertime. I'm really concerned because during the summertime, not even summertime, literally last week, I'm having a hard time to breathe on the street. So if we are having some sort of a transit shelter services, if we have a heat relief center, or we're going to continue this climate emergency mobilization office heat relief for LA campaign, we can provide some cooling center for people who cannot afford air conditioning, or for people who do not have a home. I'm 100% support that. And then now continue to our item number 12. Item number 12 is about a personal services contract. Number one, after reading the agenda, I do not understand the meaning of the word personal services. I don't know what is a personal services contract. Second of all, this contract is about Los Angeles Community College District. But that one, I'm very familiar because I was a former student right there. So I want to make sure that our public work department, that when we are having a contract with a school, with another government entity, I wish that we can contract with a reputable government entity. But this one, according to the news, according to a simple Google search, this school district has numerous CPRA violations, constantly denying the public a record request. So I just wish, make sure everybody are aware that what education entity that you are dealing with. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Last call for 3 in Shrimp and Greenspan. All right. Mr. Knight, we'll transition over to virtual.
President Kang, on the virtual platform, there was only requests for general public comment. I'll ask again, if you like, if there's any requests for single item commentary or multiple agenda item commentary on the virtual platform. If anyone wishes to offer commentary, please raise your hand at this time. And I'm not seeing any hands raised.
All right. So we will now close general public comment, multiple agenda item public comment for today. And then we will now proceed to the approval of minutes for Monday, May 5th, 2025. I'll move. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner
Mr.
King, may I have a comment with regard to the minutes before we take a vote?
Can you state it one more time? Sorry.
I'd like to make a comment with regard to the posted minutes before we take the vote. The posted minutes indicate the executive officer of the Board of Public Works reported as follows: BPW-2025-275, insert report. There's no report that's inserted. So with that, I'd like to put this over for another meeting to approve the minutes so that we know what was in that report.
Okay. We will, Mr. Knight, we would like to continue this until the next meeting.
Yes, President King. Let's go ahead and, if it's acceptable to you and to the other commissioners, can we continue it for 1 week until the 21st, as the agenda for this Friday's meeting has already been posted?
Okay, sure.
Thank you. So we'll continue the approval of minutes for May 5th, 2025 to May 21st.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll now move on to our agenda items for assessment hearings. We will hear agenda items 1, 2, and 3 together. Number 1 is annual assessment for street lighting maintenance and operation for 2025-26. Los Angeles City Lighting District, assessments in district frozen since '96. Number 2 is annual assessment for street lighting maintenance and operation for 2025-26. 1996-97, Z-Series Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District. And for item number 3 is annual assessment for street lighting maintenance and operation for 2025-26, Proposition 218, confirmed street lighting maintenance assessment district. Good morning.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting. Items 1, 2, and 3 pertain to the annual assessments for street lighting maintenance and operation for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. Confirmation of the assessments by July 31st, 2025 is necessary for the County of Los Angeles to accept and include our assessments for collection on the 2025-2026 property tax bills. We are requesting for the board to adopt these reports and ordinances of intentions and forward them forthwith to City Council. Upon adoption of these reports and ordinances of intentions, the required protest hearings may be scheduled. One protest here at the board and one protest here at City Council. So I'll be back in approximately 4 weeks to have the official protest hearings to renew the annual assessments for the 2025-2026 property tax year. Approval of items 1, 2, and 3 will result in assessment revenue of approximately $45 million to the Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment Fund for the upcoming 2025-2026 fiscal year. Notably, item 1, the Los Angeles City Lighting District, consisting of approximately 507,725 parcels. Rates have been frozen since 1996 with no inflation index. Assessment revenue totals approximately $40,500,000. Item 2, the 1996-1997 Z Series, consisting of approximately 1,611 parcels. Rates have been frozen since 1997 with no inflation index, will result in assessment revenue of approximately $112,500. Item 3, the Prop 218 Confirmed Lighting District, consisting of approximately 41,704 parcels. Rates are unfrozen with an inflation index. Total assessment revenue approximately $4,387,500. The individual maintenance assessments for the 41,704 parcels in item 3 are increased by 3.3%, which is the consumer price index for the Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Anaheim cities for the 2024 calendar year, as determined by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This increase is for lighting districts created post-1996, post the passage of Proposition 218. For reference, the consumer price index for the 2023 calendar year was 3.48%, and for the 2022 calendar year, the consumer price index was 7.45%. Again, we are requesting the board to adopt these 3 items and forward them forthwith to City Council so that the required protest hearings may be scheduled next month. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Knight, is there a single item public comment for items number 1, 2, or 3?
I'll ask again on the virtual platform. There's no request for a single item commentary that I've received here in the hearing room, but I'll ask again on the virtual platform. If there's any members of the public who wish to offer commentary on items 1, 2, or 3, please raise your hand at this time. And there are no hands raised, President Kay.
Okay, thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions, comments? Oh, Vice President Chavez.
Yeah, just a clarifying question. So the budget that was submitted that's currently pending before council for 25-26 includes a $55 million gap for the fiscal year for the budget. Does that budget include already the approvals, or are these assessments already factored in?
These assessments are already factored in for previous years, and we're just renewing them for the upcoming year.
Okay, and then the upcoming new, the anticipated ballot assessments with the updated amounts to cover that shortfall, that is forthcoming, correct?
Yes, that is forthcoming, hopefully, and that will replace these 3 accounts, assuming we have a successful lighting district.
Okay, and then what is the approximate timeline for when we can expect the new ballots?
The latest I heard is that we're targeting for the ballots to be mailed in the fall of this year. So we should hopefully have the results by January of 2026 is the optimistic target timeline right now.
Okay, and then so that those reports and transmittals will be forwarded to us for consideration?
Correct.
Okay, that's it, thank you.
All right, and then one clarifying question for the general public. I think it'll be helpful for the general public to know that these assessments really help cover much of the maintenance and the operation at street lighting. Can you briefly explain that?
Bureau of Street Lighting is not part of the general fund, so these are the revenue that we collect each and every year to pay for all of our financial operations, our salaries, our engineering, administration, repair, replacement, all of our maintenance. These are the funds that we use in order to operate our bureau.
Okay, any last minute? Commissioner,
And can you state for the record the last time these assessments were raised? Pardon?
Repeat that again.
State for the record the last time these assessments were raised.
LA City Lighting District hasn't been raised since 1996, which is item 1. Item 2, the 9697 Z Series has not been raised since 1997. Item 3 has an inflation index and continues to be raised each and every year by no more than the consumer price index.
The assessment is the process by which revenue is raised to essentially fund the street lighting at current levels?
Correct.
Or at the level at the time?
We've been operating on this budget since 1996, basically. Over the years, we've done, like, for example, our LED replacement program that's helped offset the cost of materials and labor, because we haven't been able to collect the revenue that's necessary to what we really should be collecting to combat a lot of issues that we have in the lighting, especially copper wire theft and vandalism. There's no revenue collected for that cause, and that's been an issue that's come up in the last 10 years. So over the years, we've been doing some creative things to try to maintain ourselves and budget ourselves with the 1996 budget, but we're reaching the point where we need to generate more revenue, and that's why we're trying to do the citywide ballot hopefully later this calendar year, so that we can generate and collect the revenue that we need in order to maintain all of the operations and services that we've had for the last 20, 25 years.
So if I remember correctly, the CAO released a recent report with regard to these assessment levels.
Correct, and according to that CEO's report, they were indicating that we should generate about $112 million a year to operate wholly.
And that was about 45% of what it costs in current dollars, correct?
Approximately, yes.
So the revenues generated from the assessment pays for those bills, correct?
Yes.
And so if there's 100%, then that means the other 55% comes from the general fund, correct?
There is very little that we're collecting from the general fund. I don't know the exact number. I think last I remember, I think it was around $10 million that we collect from the general fund.
So in other words, the assessment does not pay for the entire cost related to maintaining street lighting at current levels.
It's the only revenue that we have to pay for all of our maintenance, but that's why we're having outages for longer periods of time, because we don't have the revenue or the resources to do it in a much more equitable time. Many years ago, we would repair lights out, for example, within about 72 hours, and that all of a sudden began to grow into a week, into a month, into 3 months, into 6 months to repair. And copper wire theft and vandalism has increased that even more. So we maintain what we can with the revenue that we receive.
And the revenues received are not enough to fund what it costs 100%, correct?
Correct. And that's why we're optimistic that with the citywide ballot that we will finally obtain that go and be able to cover all 100% of our expenses.
And does the future assessment or the assessments we're considering that will be balloted shortly?
Hopefully by the fall
Sir,
of this calendar year,
may I
yes.
finish? Include any additional costs or mechanism for future cost or inflation or anything like that? In other words, does it incrementally go up based upon things like inflation?
Yes, there will be an inflation index to the new lighting district if successful, correct. We don't want to be back in the same position 25 years from now.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any additional questions or comments from the commissioners? Okay. With that, I'll move to vote on items 1, 2, and 3 together. Is there a second? Commissioner Mitchell has second.
And this is to take items 1, 2, and 3 together, or is for its approval of one, or is this a vote and second for approval of items 1?
Oh, approval of the items 1, 2, 3.
Very well.
together.
Thank you, President King. So I have Commissioner King, President King, and Commissioner Mitchell seconding, and we'll take a roll call vote on items 1, 2, and 3, starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. Aye. All ayes. And items 1, 2, and 3 are recommended council confirm proposed assessments that will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Move on to item number 4, AFE GANGI Studios, Inc. Do we have a representative here? Good morning.
Hi there, I'm Marta Segura, the Director of the Climate Emergency Mobilization Office. And the request before you today is for our fourth annual Heat Relief for LA campaign PSA announcements on bus shelters. The city, the Bureau of Street Services, provides us basically free marketing. However, there are printing costs that are not free. So I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. This amount of I can't see right now, $23,653 is for the printing of 400 bus shelter posters in 3 different cycles for the entire heat season, which runs from mid-June to mid-November. And we proudly say that it's in 4 different languages: Spanish, English, Korean, and Chinese. And I think you've seen the graphics before. And, you know, they get a lot of great response. We have a lot of wonderful photos of the communities interacting with those posters and asking questions about them. But it's only one part of our overall heat relief campaign.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Knight, do we have any single item public comment for this item?
We have no hands raised on the virtual platform. I can ask again if there's any commenters on the virtual platform who wish to offer commentary on item 4 this morning. And there are no hands raised.
Okay, we'll now move on to commissioner comments or questions. Commissioner Grant.
Morning, Mr. Gura. Did you say there were 400 posters being developed? Or how many?
Yeah, well, there's 400 bus shelter posters that we purchase per cycle, right? And we're having actually 2 cycles this heat season because we reduced the amount of funding. So that really is 800 posters, 400 for the first cycle and 400 for the second cycle.
And how are they distributed throughout the city?
They're put in those glass bus shelter cases, those frames that you see at the bus shelters. And we try to put them where, so for example, where you most need the Korean language, we try to put them there. We do a demographic analysis of where those populations take the bus, where they live, and we strategically try to work that out with Transito Vector, and they provide the map of the distribution, and then we approve it, right?
Is there a relationship or look at where there is a sufficient tree canopy and there is not, and whether or not there's a heat map in terms of different parts of the city are warmer than others? Obviously, to my friends in San Pedro, it's a little bit cooler down there than it is in the northern parts. So is there an assessment made when you put those posters up?
Yes, yeah, we often turn to the UCLA heat risk map, which shows you where the vast majority of heat injuries are and heat mortalities are and hospitalizations. And we correlate that with the mobility factors, like which bus stops are most frequently used, which ones actually need that kind of, which communities need that information. So yeah, we correlate it with the heat risk map and then the Transito Vector map of where all the bus shelters exist.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
A quick question. I'm glad you're printing these for those bus shelters that don't have a digital signage. Are you also utilizing their digital footprint?
Yes, we're collaborating with the LA Regional Climate Collaborative at UCLA, and they're putting up digital signage. So their partnership allows us to do the digital. And on Friday, we're going to come to you with our second proposal for putting them on bus sides as well. So we have huge, visibility on buses. And then again, the LA Regional Climate Collaborative puts them inside buses and outside buses as well.
All right, any other questions from our commissioners? Okay, if not, I'll move to approve item number 4. Is there a second?
Second.
Vice President Chavez seconds.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 4, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. Aye. All ayes, and this item is approved and will move forward forthwith.
Great. Thank you so much. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you very
day.
much. Moving on to item number 5, delegation and administrative review of subcontractor substitutions for all council districts from BCA.
Good morning. Thank you, President Kang, Commissioners, Mr. Knight. Angela Martinez, Bureau of Contract Administration. I'm a Chief Construction Inspector. Thank you for listening to me today. You have the board report in front of you. You have the board policy number 41 in front of you. And I'm here today to ask for the recommendations noted under items 1 through 3 on the board report, and that is to delegate the authority to the Inspector of Public Works, the approval of the substitution of subcontractors on construction projects awarded by the Board of Public Works based on the criteria for per the Administrative Code of Los Angeles. The sections are noted also. We ask that the board retain the authority, excuse me, to conduct a public hearing on a prime contractor's request for substitution of a subcontractor when a listed subcontractor files a written notice of objection, what we call a protest, to the substitution, and that we're asking that the board adopt this policy to supersede existing board policy number 41 from September 23rd, 1987 regarding the substitution of subcontractors. I'm not going to read the whole board report because you've read it probably many times. But I do want to stress that we do due diligence whenever someone is awarded requests for bids, proposals, or requests for qualifications. The business inclusions program does this. Our business inclusion section does this in BCA. We're very thorough about this. Our special research and investigation group that does the approval process for subcontractor approvals and substitutions. They are very diligent in making sure that a contractor has submitted a good faith effort with whatever MBE, WBE they are substituting. We make sure that there's an active California state license board registration by the substitution. We make sure that there is a business tax registration certificate, the Department of Industrial Relations registration where they register as a public works contractor, that they pay prevailing wages, that they follow apprenticeship requirements, maintain and submit certified payrolls. All that is looked at with our OCC labor and biz people. We also review the bid proposal and the project awarded board report for dollar amounts to make sure there's no deviations there. And when we get a substitution request from the contractor, we look at the original letter of withdrawal for the bid listed subcontractor to see what the reason is. Why are they withdrawing? Maybe the project was delayed. The cost of personnel materials have gone up. And also the contractor has to submit proof of good faith effort for whatever entity, MBE, WBE, whatever the contractor is replacing with a new subcontractor. We verify all that. We also then check, like I said, the dollar amount to make sure there's nothing that is not per what the awarded amount was. We just want to verify everything. And if there is a change in the dollar amount of the new substituted subcontractor, then we get a hold of the city engineer for a deduct change order. So what we're asking for is basically to supersede the policy from 1987. We're following the same criteria, but of the 7 reasons that the contractor would do a substitution, we've added the PLA, Project Labor Agreement, to make sure that prevailing wage laws and prevailing wages are being adhered to. That's it for me. Thank you so much for listening.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Knight, is there any single item public comment for this item?
There's no one on, President King, there's no one on the Zoom platform with their hand raised. I'll ask if there's any single item commentary on item number 5, either on the Zoom platform. If there is, please raise your hand. Or in the room, if there is, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room and hand it to me. And there is no one with their hand raised on the Zoom platform. And I've received a single item speaker card for agenda item 6. So for item 5, there is no single item comment.
All right, moving on to our commissioners. Any questions, comments?
I have a question.
Yes, Commissioner
Ms.
Mitchell.
Martinez, with regard to the administrative code sections is 10.14, subsection 2, and subsection 3, the administrative code, correct?
Yes.
And if the subcontractor objects, then we would proceed to a hearing before the board, appropriate board committee or whatever. Is that correct?
Yes. The board would retain the prerogative to hear the objection. Absolutely, and we would show up also.
I have no further questions.
All right. Any other comments or questions from our commissioners? Yes, Vice President Chavez.
Yes, thank you for bringing this to us. I think as a board, obviously our primary goal is transparency, accountability in awarding contracts. Yeah, we as a board award 85% of the city's contracts, construction contracts. People don't know this. And, you know, we take our duty seriously, but we're always looking for ways to improve efficiency but while still committing to that accountability and that transparency. And I think this does this, and I appreciate you coming to us to help improve the process. I'm surprised to learn that this policy was effectuated in 1987. That was a long time ago, and that it hasn't been looked at since. So I encourage all the bureaus to start looking at policies. You know, don't accept policies just because it's always been that way. You know, always look at how we can strive to be better, how we can improve things while still providing, meeting that duty that we have as a city, as a board, and as city entities to ensure that public funding, public dollars are being used in the most efficient way, because the taxpayers deserve that as we are moving forward in our progress as a city and trying to improve our infrastructure. We need to ensure that we're striking the right balance, if you will. We don't want to create bureaucracy for bureaucracy's sake. There are rules for a reason, but that doesn't mean we can't achieve the same goals through a different method. So I appreciate you bringing this to us.
Thank you, Commissioner Chavez. Those are such kind words. And I have to say, I wish I could say this was my idea, but it was my director, John Reamer's idea. And I have to give the shout out to him. He's an amazing man.
And thank you, Sue. And one thing that I did want to add that as our Vice President mentioned earlier, that we are trying to improve efficiency here at the city. And it was sad to learn that previously, without this potential item coming into being, we were delayed by several months when we were trying to change out a contractor, right? So I'm very much in favor of this policy change, and I wanted to thank Mr. Reamer for proposing this idea.
Thank you so much.
All right. With that, I'll move. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. There's a second from President Pro Tem Grant as well as Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote and approval of item 5, starting with you, President Kane.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is approved and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 6 with Bureau of Engineering for Council District 11, revised construction budget and construction order, JILK Heavy Construction, Inc. Good morning.
Good morning. Patrick Schmidt, Bureau of Engineering. So this board report is for the requesting the revision of the construction budget and issue a revised construction order to Jill Heavy Construction for the Stretto Way at Castelmar Drive Emergency Debris Removal Project, work order number E190-9425, contract number C144-945. So within this board report, we're requesting that the Board of Public Works, one, authorize revised construction budget of $1,400,000, including contingency for the project. Authorize the president or two members of the board to execute the revised construction order to Jill Heavy Construction after approval as to form has been obtained from the city attorney. Authorize the city engineer to issue change orders and supplemental agreement change orders within the revised construction budget of $1,400,000 for this project. And authorize the president or two members of the board to sign any necessary supplemental agreement change orders. As you know, the Bureau of Engineering administers the emergency pre-qualified on-call geotechnical structural contractors list in order to provide emergency and urgent necessity geotechnical structural construction services for public works projects. On December 13th, 2023, the board approved the 2024 through 2029 emergency pre-qualified on-call list of 6 contractors and authorized the city engineer to transmit and execute contract agreements. The current terms of the contract is 5 years, and they will expire on January 2nd of 2029. During the Palisades fire, a landslide occurred between Positano Road and Castelmar Drive, resulting in the blockage of Stretto Way. And there's an emergency need to remove this debris from within the right-of-way and some within adjacent properties and to construct a retaining structure to safely reopen the road. On February 26, 2025, the Board of Public Works president was informed of the road blockage and approved initial construction budget authority of $500,000 for the project in accordance with the emergency contract procedures. The estimated total amount for the construction budget for the project at that time was $1,349,660, including contingency. On February 26, 2025, bids for the project were solicited from the contractors on the list. On March 3rd, 2025, 3 bids were received, of which Jilk was the low bidder. Jilk's bid in the amount of $1,110,394 was 6.96% above the city engineer's estimate of $1,038,100. Due to the emergency nature of the work and the safety hazard posed by the road blockage, a preliminary construction order was issued to Jilk on March 3rd, 2025, in the amount of $500,000 to quickly begin the work of clearing the right-of-way. Due to the unknowns associated with the composition of the landslide debris and the total volume of material that would need to be removed, within this board report, we are requesting full utilization of the provided funding of $1,400,000, equating to an approximate contingency of 26% to cover any potential change orders and or supplemental agreement change orders. We are required to issue supplemental agreement change orders when the total dollar amount of change orders exceed 25% of the contract amount. So again, within this board report, we are requesting the authority to issue supplemental agreement change orders up to the revised construction budget of $1,400,000. Staff recommends that the board execute a revised construction for the project with Jilk in the amount of $1,110,394 with a not to exceed limit of $1,400,000, including contingency. And funding for the project in this amount of $1,400,000 is available in the Capital and Technology Improvement Expenditure Program Fund number 100, Department 54, Appropriation Unit number 00AAAN. That concludes my presentation of this board report. I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
All right, before moving on to commissioner comments, we do have one in-person public comment from Mr. Go N.
That this is a $10,000 Brown Act violation, that you're deducting my time and penalizing me for speaking on this item individually, violation of the Constitution of California. So, where's your president? Where'd he go? Why isn't he here? So, you want to read the budget memo from last week?
This is not public comment.
Shut up. So you want to read the budget memo talking about dissolving your commission and giving all of your budget authority to the council directly. That is in the budget proposal.
This
So,
is on item number
shut up.
6. It's regarding
Shut
the
up. Be
revised
quiet.
construction
Shut up.
budget and
It's
construction
about their
order.
jobs. I think they want to hear about their jobs. If you want to keep your jobs,
Please stay on topic or your time will be forfeited.
return our public comment time to the original rules because you did not publish in a newspaper of general circulation these changes. Okay? You're acting under a fraud. Go fuck yourselves.
Mr. Knight, are there any virtual single item comments for this item?
President King, there's no one has their hand raised. I can make another call out to see if anyone would like to offer commentary on item 6. If there is anyone on the virtual platform who would like to offer commentary on item 6, please raise your hand at this time. And there's no hand raised.
All right, moving on to commissioners, any questions or comments on item number 6? Seeing none, is there a first and a second?
So moved.
Second.
First by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote for approval of item 6, starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
All right, moving on to item number 7, Council District 11, revised construction budget and construction order Clark Contracting Corporation.
Thank you, President Kang. This board report is for the authorization to revise the construction budget and issue revised construction order to Clark Contracting Corporation for the Castellamar Drive, near address 17632, emergency upslope debris bulkhead project, work order number E190-9426, the contract number C144-948. Within this board report, we're recommended that the Board of Public Works, number 1, authorize a revised construction budget of $693,188, including contingency for the project. Number 2, authorize the president or 2 members of the board to execute the revised construction order to Clark Contracting Corporation after approval as to form has been obtained from the city attorney. Number 3, authorize the city engineer to issue change orders and supplemental agreement orders within the revised construction budget of $693,188 for the project. And number 4, authorize the president or 2 members of the board to sign the supplemental agreement change orders. As you know, the BOE administers the emergency pre-qualified on-call geotechnical structural contractors list to provide urgent necessity and emergency geotechnical and structural construction services for public works projects. On December 13, 2023, the board approved the 2024 through 2029 emergency pre-qualified on list of 6 qualified contractors and authorized the city engineer to transmit and execute contracts agreements. The current term of the contracts is 5 years and they will expire on January 2nd, 2029. As a result of the Palisades fire, there's an urgent need to remove and replace the damaged upslope timber bulkhead along a section of Castellamar Drive. This location is about a quarter of a mile northwest of the intersection of Sunset Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. The project constructs a new debris wall that will have a length of approximately 112 feet and a maximum height of about 6 feet, and will be constructed using a combination of steel piles and precast concrete panels. The project also includes the construction of a concrete curb and repair of some of the damaged asphalt pavement. On March 25th, 2025, the board president was informed of the damage and approved initial construction budget authority of $500,000 for the project in accordance with the emergency contract procedures. The initial estimated total construction budget for the project was $719,094, including contingency. On March 6, 2025, bids for the project were solicited from the contractors on the list. On April 2nd, 2025, 4 bids were received, of which Clark was the low bidder. Clark's bid in the amount of $533,222 was 11.02% below the city engineer's estimate of $599,245. Due to the emergency nature of the work and the safety hazards posed by the existing conditions, a preliminary construction was issued to Clark on April 2nd, 2025, in the amount not to exceed $500,000 within the city engineer's authority to begin the procurement of construction materials and to assist in mitigating immediate concerns. Due to the unknowns associated with the existing timber bulkhead and the unknown conditions of the project area, This board report requests a 30% contingency to cover any potential change orders and/or supplemental agreement change orders. Again, supplemental agreement change orders are required when the dollar amount of change orders exceeds 25% of the contract award amount. So this board report does include the request to issue supplemental agreement change orders up to the limit of the revised construction budget of $693,188. Staff recommends that the board execute a revised construction order for the project with Clark in the amount of $533,222, with a not to exceed limit of $693,188, which includes the contingency. And funding for the project in the amount of $693,188 is available in the Capital and Technology Improvement Expenditure Fund, Program Fund Number 100, Department 54, Appropriation Unit 00 AAAP. Concludes my presentation of this board report. I'm available for any questions.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Knight, are there any single item public comment for number 7?
There's no hand raised on the virtual platform, and I don't have any speaker cards here in the hearing room. I can ask if there are any members of the public who wish to offer commentary. If there's anyone on the virtual platform, please raise your hand at this time if you'd like to offer commentary on item 7. And if there's anyone here in the room, if you'd like to offer commentary on item 7, please fill out a speaker card and hand it to me. And so there's no single item commentary on 7.
Okay, with that, commissioners, any questions or comments on item number 7? Seeing none, is there a first and a second?
Second.
First by President Pro Tem Grant, second by both Vice President Chavez and Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 7, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 8 for Council District 11, revised construction budget and construction order for JILK Heavy Construction, Inc.
Thank you. This board report is to revise the construction budget and issue revised construction order to JILK Heavy Construction for the Enchanted Way near address 711 Bulkhead Project, work order number E190-9252, contract number C144-945. In this board report, we recommend that the Board of Public Works, number 1, authorize revised construction budget of $1,209,780, including contingency for the project. Number 2, authorize the president or 2 members of the board to execute the revised construction order to JILK Heavy Construction after approval as to form has been obtained from the city attorney. Number 3, authorize the city engineer to issue change orders and supplemental agreement change orders within the revised construction budget of $1,209,780. And number 4, authorize the president or 2 members of the board to sign future supplemental agreement change orders. Again, as you know, the BOE administers the emergency pre-qualified on-call geotechnical structural contractors list in order to provide urgent necessity and emergency geotechnical structural construction services for public works projects. On December 13th, 2023, the board approved the 2024 through 2029 emergency pre-qualified on-call list of 6 contractors and authorized the city engineer to transmit and execute contracts agreements. The current terms of the contracts is 5 years and they will expire on January 2nd of 2029. There's an emergency need to repair a portion of Enchanted Way near address 711, which is located in the Pacific Palisades, approximately 3/4 of a mile northeast of the intersection of Pacific Coast Highway and Sunset Boulevard. At this location, a steel beam and timber lagging bulkhead exists along the southwest side of the road. The bulkhead is old, distressed, and has failed locally. The Palisades fire further damaged the bulkhead. The damaged and failing bulkhead is not adequately supporting the roadway and is creating an unsafe condition. This project will remove the existing bulkhead and construct a new bulkhead in its place. The new bulkhead will be approximately 94 feet in length, 5 to 10 feet in height, and will consist of 12 soldier piles with precast concrete lagging panels. The project also includes the removal and replacement of the existing damaged concrete pavement and a concrete curb and gutter, and the installation of a new metal beam guardrail. In addition, a new 2-inch diameter drain line will be installed to convey water pumped from existing dewatering wells near the site. On March 25th, 2025, the board president was informed of the damage to Enchanted Way and approved an initial construction budget authority of $500,000 for the project. in accordance with the emergency contract procedures. On March 19th, 2025, bids for the project were solicited from the contractors on the list. On April 2nd, 2025, 4 bids were received, of which Joke was the low bidder. Joke's bid in the amount of $967,824 was 8.51% below the city engineer's estimate of $1,057,830. Due to the emergency nature of the work and the safety hazard posed by the damaged bulkhead, a preliminary construction was issued to Joke on April 2nd, 2025, in the amount not to exceed $500,000 within the city engineer's authority to quickly begin the procurement of construction materials and to assist in mitigating immediate concerns. Supplemental agreement changes are needed when the total dollar amount of change orders exceed 25% of the contract amount. So again, within this board report, we are asking for the authority to issue supplemental agreement change orders within the revised construction budget of $1,209,780. Staff recommends that the board execute a revised construction for the project with Joke in the amount of $967,824 with a not to exceed limit of $1,209,780, which includes contingency. And funding for the project in the amount of $1,209,780 is available in the SB1 Road Maintenance Rehabilitation Program Special Fund, Fund Number 59V, Department 50, Appropriation Unit 50, AZCE. That concludes my presentation of this board report. I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Knight, there are no single item comments for this one?
That is correct, President King. There are no hands raised on the virtual platform, and I've received no speaker cards here in the hearing room.
Okay, thank you very much. With that, commissioners, any questions or comments on item number 8? Okay, with that, I'll move. Is there a second? Okay, seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 8, starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes on this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 9 for all council district, request for authority, task order solicitation number S-026-Hazen and Sawyer.
Good morning, President Kang, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, and Commissioner Mitchell. My name is Paul Cobian. I'm with LA Sanitation and Environment, and we're here to discuss the edible food generator inspections and investigations TOS. Thank you for the opportunity to present today. We're requesting your approval to award TOS S-026 to Hazen and Sawyer to fund edible food recovery inspections through June 2029, ensuring that edible food generators and food recovery organizations comply with food donations and record-keeping requirements in accordance with SB 1383 and the city's organics ordinance. Hazen and Sawyer was competitively selected for their technical expertise and proven SB 1383 outreach and engagement record. This contract is essential to verify compliance, lead education efforts, and to help the city avoid any penalties of up to $10,000 per day while meeting state grant obligations and improving food recovery outcomes here for the city. With your approval, LA San can issue the notice to proceed and launch field operations within 60 days. Thank you for your consideration, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right. Mr. Knight, there are no single item comments for number 9?
President King, that is correct. I have no hands raised on the virtual platform and no speaker cards received here in the hearing room.
All right, thank you very much. I know this item was continued from Wednesday, April 30th, and I do appreciate the follow-up meeting to clarify some of the items listed in this item. Commissioners, are there any questions or comments related to item number 9? Okay, with that, I'll move. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 9, starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 9 is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 10 for all council districts, request for authority, task order solicitation number S-020-Cordoba Corporation.
Good morning,
Good morning.
President, Vice President, and Commissioner. And this is a continuation of TOS S-20 award to authority to award Cordoba for Honeywell DCS support for the LSN for treatment plan and the collection system. And we discussed internally, and also we brief Commissioner Mitchell. And so basically, last time we discussed about the status of financing, and do you want me to talk about the more background or just continuation of the question you have or your concern? So basically, the background is we try to get the authority to award the Cordoba for Honeywell DCS and also not the existing 18,000 and 32,822 and also 4 years term. And we notify all 31 firms and got a response, and 4 got a 4 negative response. And when we do the evaluation, and we have a 4 category, the project evaluation on the project management and technical approach, and so on and so forth. And Cordoba got the highest score. And and also we got the PRD approved on November on the November 1st, 2024. So the financing basically we get all the counting office of accounting office of accountings approved, and also the fundings are secured and approved. Any questions?
Okay, before that, Mr. Knight, just checking, no single item comment for this item?
Correct, President King. There are no hands raised on the virtual platform, and I have no speaker cards on this item.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions or comments? Vice President Chavez.
Yes, thank you. Just wanted to state for the record, obviously this is for very specialized personnel that are going to be working on, again, a new type of technology that we have. Just trying to understand a little bit better sort of how many personnel we will have access to and for how long. And then also what's the plan after? I know some of this includes training of our own staff. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Currently, we based on the need. So they are have Honeywell DC as a specialist, and also there are 3 persons there, and also we have INC full-time person there, and also we have 2 days a week for the instrument technician, and to check investigative field. For instance, last time Hyperion get the flood, and then we find out that there are like 700 thousands events happen in a day, and the operator cannot monitor or see exactly what's the problem. So we need to have a field technician to check the instrument is in order or in good position. And also we also found the documentation is not updated. So we allocate a certain dollar amount for the CAD operator to update the drawing. And also there's 1 person to do the documentation specialist. And there are 2 project management to support C-suite project currently is doing the integrate the remote site to the advanced power plant the communication and update the PLC programmable logic controller. So totally it's around 7 personnel there and 2 part-time people. And these projects we estimate by year 2028, and also we dedicated 1 person do the training, not only just train ICSD personnel, also the instrument tech. Currently, this year we already train 5 weeks, 2 weeks for DCT, LAG, and TI, and 2 weeks for Hyperion instrument tech to have a hands-on training, and also 1 week for the conveyance division instrument tech to do the training. So we hope during that process, the in-house personnel can take over. So we will not rely on outside consultant to help us, and we can self-sufficient. That's our goal and our destination.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments from our commissioners? Okay, seeing none, is there a first and a second?
So move.
All right, first by President Pro Tem Grant, seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 10, starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 11 for all council district, amendment number 2, task order solicitation number S-007H, Carollo Engineers, Inc.
Good morning. I'm Nicholas Milos with the Department of Sanitation. And we're here to bring forward this board report to amend this TOS. It was originally awarded for Carollo Engineers to conduct outreach and research analysis for our rate fees for both the single-family resources fee, the multifamily bulky item fee, and our extra capacity fees. We had brought those fees to the City Council upon completion of that analysis in April 11th. They authorized us to move forward with the necessary actions to then affect that rate action. We are now asking to amend this contract or this TOS, so to include outreach, and that includes printing materials of the Prop 218 notices that need to go out to the constituents, notifying them of the potential rate increases and the action, how they could protest it, these rate actions, and notify them of the public hearing. That affects about 1.6 million constituents. And so in this amendment, we're also authorizing the budget increase of $1.5 million. We are going to be proposing that we distribute this through GSD mailing services and GSD printing services. GSD mailing services needs the check that will be cut to the U.S. Postal Service prior to issuing or printing the mailers. So for that, we would asking for about $880,000 of this project is going to be going to postage for the initial mailers of the Prop 218 notices for both the multifamily bulky item fee and the single-family solid resources fee. And then we also have an outreach and education implement of this, in which we will then be working with the different communities and council districts to then engage the community and the nonprofits and the NGOs and the neighborhood councils to then do further outreach targeted in those local community groups. The Prop 218 notice, I do want to say, it also includes translation services that will help on our webinars and our public outreach that we conduct. The consultant will help provide those in both in-person and also translation services for online material as needed to supplement the city's translation services as necessary. And the Prop 218 notice will be mailed out in English with a QR code that will have all the 14 languages translated to available on our website. And so that is why we're asking to amend this contract to extend the scope and increase the budget. And that concludes my presentation.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Knight. Just checking, we have no public comments for this item.
That is correct, President Kang. No hands raised on the virtual platform and no speaker cards here in the hearing room.
And to fellow commissioners, are there any questions or comments? Vice President Chavez.
I just wanted to request from staff, I understand that this includes all the work in developing the outreach and education materials. I would like, once those are prepared, for that information to come back and be presented to the board in a public setting, just so that it's another opportunity to provide public information about what's coming to the public, what the trash fee means, what, you know, kind of all of the detailed information that's going to be provided in the different meetings, but just kind of giving us what the plan is going to be for outreach would be also great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from commissioners? Quick comment, similar to what Vice President Chavez mentioned, I believe I did request that once the outreach plan is finalized, that you'll share that plan with us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. With that, I will move to approve item number 11. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 11, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez. President Pro Tem Grant. And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 11 is adopted, and we'll move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 12 for all council districts, request for authority, First Amendment, personal services contract, Los Angeles Community College District.
Good morning, everyone. Martina Ruiz for the
Can you speak into the mic, please?
Oh, good morning, everyone. Martina Ruiz for the Bureau of Street Services. A little bit of background about the program. This is a long-standing college-accredited training program between the streets of LA and Los Angeles Community College District. It's been in existence since the 1990s. The program is designed to provide practical skills and training for those interested in a career in public works, maintenance, and operations. Through classroom and hands-on training, students gain knowledge and skills in the various types of street construction and repair, as well as supervisory skills needed to promote into managerial positions. It provides the necessary training.
Excuse me, Speaker, just a second. Folks in the audience, if you can keep your voices down, thank you very much.
Thank you. It provides the necessary training to develop and enhance employee skills, leadership skills, and fulfill succession goals. Employees are then able to promote into other jobs immediately and apply what they learned in the classroom. The program is vital to the future leadership of Streets LA. 19 courses are offered through the program, including our most popular street sweeping course. The students can earn a certificate of achievement or an associate's degree in street maintenance technology. During the recent pandemic years, some of the classes were moved to remote learning using the LACCD's Canvas platform. The classes are free to Streets LA employees, and all other students are charged a tuition of $138 per 3-unit class. We offer courses year-round in the summer, fall, winter, and spring sessions. Typically, 4 to 5 courses are offered in the fall and spring semesters, while the shorter semesters of winter and summer, 1 class can be offered. The purpose of this amendment. The current 3-year contract will expire next month on June 30, 2025. This is a request to extend the current contract for an additional 5 years, from July 1, 2025 to June 30 of 2030. LACCD has agreed to freeze the tuition rate at $138 per 3-unit class for the additional 5-year term. The funds for the program are available at least for the next fiscal year. The rates will remain the same for the next 5 years. This program is essential to Streets LA to develop, retain, and promote its workforce and future leaders. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Knight. Just checking, no a single item public comment for item number 12.
That is correct, President Kang. There are no hands raised on the virtual platform, and I have received no speaker cards here in the hearing room.
Okay, moving on to our commissioners. Any questions or comments? President Pro Tem Grant.
Having previously served for LA Trade Tech and its labor studies program, reviewing your curriculum, it's very impressive. I know, talked with Bureau Head Mose in terms of his, as being an instructor there, the idea that this can in fact make local hires experts as well as developing youth, or actually anyone, coming through LA is actually a program that I'm very impressed with. Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Vice President Chavez.
Yes, just looking at the participation levels, I noticed a slight dip in the current year. Are you expecting about the same amount in the next year, or do you have a way to gather interest for the following year in terms of attendees?
Yes, we recently moved more classes to online learning through the Canvas platform in LACCD, and that did have an effect, an uptick on the attendance rate.
Oh, okay, great, wonderful.
Any other comments or questions? With that, is there a first and a second?
Second.
First by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. President Kang will go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 12, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes. And item 12 is adopted and referred to the mayor forthwith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 13 for Council District 4, contract acceptance, Riverside Drive Lighting Improvement Unit 1, CIP-STP Street Lighting Project STPL-5006823.
Thank you, President Kang. Angela Martinez again, Bureau of Contract Administration, Chief Construction Inspector, Commissioners, thank you. This contract was executed by the board on August 8th, 2018 for the amount of $1,035,399. It was awarded to Select Electric, who started work on October 11th, 2018. The project was to replace existing high voltage street lighting system with an efficient low voltage multiple street lighting system. The work was along primarily Riverside Drive between Clybourne Avenue and Lancashire. The work itself was the installation of 76 new steel fluted street lighting poles, including foundations, conduit wires, luminaires, and real-time reporting for light outages and failures. As I said, the project was awarded for $1,035,399 with a contingency of $155,001, giving a total authorized budget of $1,190,400. Only 2 change orders were issued, increasing the contract amount by $47,469.50, which brought the cost of this project to $1,082,868.50. This was completed at 4.8% above the awarded amount and 9.03% below its authorized budget. Final corrections were completed December 18th, 2020. We released all the retention monies. The first amount was $21,695.27. October 29th, 2021 was the release date. And then the following 2 amounts of $15,423.34 and $17,024.82 were released on March 1st of 2022 and October 1st of 2023, after we received all required information from the contractor. There are no funds disputed or withheld, therefore no funds are due the contractor. The funding for this federal project was from the Special Gas Tax Fund 206 and the Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment Fund 347. Because it was a federally funded project, there were disadvantaged business enterprise involved, the program, and through the Department of Transportation, federal regulations, and Caltrans Race Conscious DBE program. The contractor pledged 26.935% of a DBE goal, and the project was advertised with a DBE goal of 23%, and the contractor participation level was 27.39%. There are no unresolved property owners' complaints in connection with this project, and all the contractor performance evaluation reports have been submitted. Therefore, BCA is asking the board for their acceptance of this project. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Mr. Knight, checking one last time, no single item public comment for this item?
That is correct, President Kang. There's no hands raised, and I have no speaker cards in the room.
All right. Commissioners, any questions or comments?
I have a question.
Commissioner
Ms.
Mitchell.
Martinez, if all the funds were released October 1st, 2023, after BCA received all the required information from the contractor, why are we finally getting around to accepting the contract?
Well, I'm going to have to get back to you on that because I'm thinking, did they not provide certified payroll? I don't know. And I will ask you in a timely manner. Maybe they didn't provide it, but there was an issue there. And I will follow up with an email with the information.
Okay,
I promise.
that's fine.
Today.
That's fine.
I don't procrastinate.
If you could kindly email that to me, and I'll distribute it to all commissioners.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez.
Any other questions or comments? With that, is there a first and a second?
So move.
Second.
All right, first by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 13, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant. And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And our last item for today is item number 4, Public Works Trust Fund update.
I have handouts. Good morning, President Kang, Board Commissioners, and City Representative. My name is Jonathan Death. I'm with the Board of Public Works Financial Management Section. I'm here to present the Public Works Trust Fund semi-annual status update from July 1, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. The Public Works Trust Fund was created in the early 1940s to hold a variety of fees deposited related to public works project. The Public Works Trust Fund operates similar to a bank or escrow account where funds are held and dispersed for a specific purpose or refunded back to the depositor. At the end of June 30th, 2024, the trust fund had a balance of approximately $158.1 million. At the end of December 31st, 2024, the trust fund had a balance of approximately $164.5 million. Total inflows, such as deposits within the 40-plus revenue sources and loan collections, were $13.3 million. Total outflow, such as refund to depositors, transfer to various city funds, and expenditure total about $6.6 million. This resulted in an increase of about 6.4 in the trust fund during a 6 months period. Cash accounted for in the trust fund. Loan receivable, accrued interest, and pending disbursement was about $65 million. Appropriation accounts and special project accounts total about $13.5 million. Working capital set aside for possible transfer to the general fund, special fund, and possible refund to depositor, which is set at 25% of total asset was about 41.1 million, which leaves a net cash balance of about 44.9 million. There are 44 accounts in the trust fund. The top 5 accounts total about 123.5 million, which is about 75.1% of the total trust fund balance. Loans. The Public Works Trust Fund has been used as a source of funding for loans subject to repayment terms to other city departments and bureau. These loans require approval by the board and city council and typically provide funding for various grant-funded capital projects. At the end of December 31st, 2024, there were 10 outstanding loans. And total loan receivable with accrued interest was about 64.7 million, which is approximately 38% of the total trust fund balance. Some payment highlights. Loan number 3, the Bureau of Engineering North Atwater Multi-Modular Bridge, payment of about 333,000 was received on September 3rd, 2024. Loan number 4, the Bureau of Sanitation Shade LA project, the remaining balance of about 6,900 was paid on October 30th, 2024. This loan has been repaid in full. Some additional payment highlight that's outside of the reporting period. Loan number 7, the Bureau of Street Lighting, payment to DWP. Payment of about 2.5 million was received on January 30th, 2025. Loan number 11, Economic and Workforce Development Department, Californian for All Youth Grant. A payment of about 3.2 million was initiated in FMS on April 30th, 2025. This repayment is currently working through the approval process in the city's financial management system. If we count these 2 payments, it would reduce the outstanding loan balance from 64.7 to 59 million. The new loan to asset ratio would be around 36%. The board's ideal ratio is between 25 to 30%. So we are slowly working back down to the board's ideal ratio. This concludes my presentation and would be happy to answer any question that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. There are no public comments for item number 14.
That is correct, President King. There's no hands raised, and I have no speaker cards received in the room.
Okay. Commissioners, are there any questions or comments?
I have a question. Mr. Janeth, on the line number 7 on the loans, do I understand you say there's a $2.5 million payment in December 2024?
Correct.
Okay. That's not reflected in our briefing. Is that the one where it has not been, the CAO hasn't, or it's pending, that 2.5 is pending?
No. So this chart is only up to December 31st, 2024.
Right.
The payment happened a month after that.
In January?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It'll be reflected in the update for June 30th, 2025.
Okay.
So, yeah, the current loan balance for that particular loan is right now 2.5 million. And Bureau of Street Lighting has been consistent in paying that particular loan, so they'll pay it off by the end of next fiscal year.
Okay. Thank you.
Vice President Chavez.
Just forgot to ask us during the initial briefing, are any of these outstanding loans under consideration for restructuring the payment?
Well, restructuring as term of when they will start payment or correct. Well, the $30 million loan to the Bureau of Street Services, sidewalk and transit amenity program, the staff program, their payment has been delayed because of all the various delay that Street Services has encountered in starting that particular project. They were supposed to start paying this fiscal year, but because of all the delay that they encountered, they won't start paying until like 2 fiscal years from now.
All right, is that the only one that's had a change in their payment terms, or any other ones being considered for restructuring, either to speed up the payments or to further, postpone payments?
Well, basically, pretty much all of them. The CAO loan, the $10 million seismic bridge improvement program, the initial, the plan was to repay by by June 30th, 2024, which was last fiscal year. But that program is now ongoing, and in the original board report and council file, there was a clause that the payment would be paid in full at the end of the bridge improvement program. But that program has been extended to by 10 years, and so we won't expect payment until 2035. The BOE North Atwater multi-module bridge loan, that has been encountering difficulty in repayment because they're dependent on reimbursement from county, state, and federal, and yeah, so that's been causing a lot of delay in their payment. Let's see. The California for All Youth grant was originally supposed to be repaid by September 2024, but again, it was a California state grant, and the state has been slow in reimbursing the city. That has caused a delay in payment.
All right. Are there any other comments or questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Knight, does that clear our desk for today?
Yes, it does, President King.
Thank you very much. Our next meeting is Friday, May 16, 2025, and the meeting is adjourned at 11:54 a.m.